Hi, beautiful people. My name is Sandra Harrison, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Talk with Sandra. So, Talk with Sandra is a safe space for me to be free enough to say things as they are, the raw truth, without fear of being judged. And it's also a safe space for you to feel free to to comment, lay your complaints, ask questions on issues bothering you that you cannot share with anybody else. Every information you need to know about me is on my bio, so go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and I am proud to say it anytime, any day, with no regrets of walking out of an 8-year-old marriage. Subsequent videos, I'll be sharing my stories, but right here, this particular video is just to welcome you guys and to encourage somebody. I've always wanted to have a space like this, where I can advise and create awareness of happenings in life based on my personal experiences, of course, but I was too scared to do so for fear of being judged. As a married woman, there are some things you cannot say, there are some things you can say. There's a rule about what to voice out regarding your marriage. Me, like many other young girls in this part of the world, have been brainwashed by both religion and tradition that opening up about situations, what you're going through in your relationship, especially when it comes to marriage, is bad. Like, it's the worst thing on earth to do. Because, of course, marriage is sacred. You should not discuss whatever happens within your home with anyone. And all the marriage is a personal advice. Whatever you see, whatever you open is what you see. You take it like that. At some point, I even wanted to do all this, this kind of videos that they do for rape victims on AIT or NTA, where they will cover your face but then your voice will be heard. At some point, I was thinking of doing something like that, just so that I can find a medium to just say, just advise somebody, this is what it is, this is what I'm going through. Life is not exactly what it is. I just needed some kind of medium to be able to speak out, just because I was scared of what people might say. But I'm here to tell you that is a big lie. The lie I'm talking about is you not, being, as in you not being, okay, you being mute about your marriage. I mean, what are you being mute for? I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, every woman should go out there to start broadcasting to her friends, to start broadcasting and then, explaining, what my husband does in bed, how my husband sleeps with me, what he does to me and all that. No. I'm talking about speaking out on issues, about situations that are beyond your control. When there are situations that are beyond your control as a young girl, in that relationship, you should be able to speak. You're a young girl of 16, 15, 14. You're not understanding your body yet. And then you're in a relationship with an older guy. As a young woman in marriage, you're being abused. A rape victim, that they have threatened, if you talk, I will kill you. Of course, you cannot tell your mom, based on, she won't even believe you in the first place. A young woman in marriage, you're going through situations that you're not even supposed to go through in the first place. And you can't talk about it, because of this, our belief. This belief has actually cut short a lot of women's lives. A lot of young women have died in marriages just because of this our myopic, belief that you're not supposed to speak. No. You're pregnant, you can't even tell your mom, you can't tell anybody around you because you're scared. You're scared. And the pregnancy was not your fault, it was out of rape from even, your uncle or anybody. And the man has told you, if you tell anybody, I will kill you. And because of that, you're too scared to talk about it. And because you're too scared to talk about it, you carry it about an abortion. You might bleed to death. Speak. Be free. Unmute your lips. Speak. But please, try and speak to the right people. The mistake young people make is speaking to the wrong people. Speaking to the wrong people. Like several times, we've talked to the wrong people and then they broadcast your situation. Speak to your mom. As much as she will shout and yell and say all sorts of things, Nigerian mothers are common cap. But then she must have gone through the experience one way or the other. Even if she hasn't, she will definitely find a situation one way or the other. You're her child. Don't be scared to go to your mom. Whatever it is she has to say is her own point of view based on her own, century, the century she was born in. But after the whole yelling, she's your mom. She will definitely still come to your aid. You can speak to a lawyer, your teacher in school, anybody of higher qualifications than you, and then with, more experiences, and then properly educated too. Speak to corporate bodies in charge of whatever predicament you're going through. Of course, there are human rights agencies for young girls. There are human rights agencies for young women. I know there are agencies for, social welfare, for women going through, issues in their marriages, abuse especially in marriages, and then the man doesn't want to take responsibility of the kids. Speak to them. So that those advices coming from those professional bodies can be free of bias and sentiments. Because in my own case as a survivor, it was not easy for me. I kept mute for so long. When I now spoke, it seemed like I was telling lies. It seemed like I was telling lies. If you speak to the wrong people, you get the wrong advices. I was silent for so long, like I said earlier. When I finally found courage to speak out and leave 8 years of abuse, my world as I knew it crumbled before my eyes. Everywhere I turned to, nothing seemed complete. Everywhere seemed empty. No one was willing to hear my own side of the story. No one was willing to assist. I won't go into details about my, situations, and things I went through, in subsequent videos I will. Sometimes, I stand in front of a mirror and I don't recognize who is staring back at me. I ask myself, when will all this struggle end? When will all this pain end? When will I get a better version of myself? Because I'm not liking this person that I'm seeing in the mirror. There are days when I bow my head in sorrow, even shed a few tears when I remember all the responsibilities I'm, carrying on my little shoulders. But in all this, I still find strength from within myself. You know why? Because I'm a superwoman. I'm becoming emotional, and I told myself I'll be strong in this video. I'm a superwoman. That's S written on Superman's chest. If I can get access to it, I'll wear it proudly on my chest. Because, even though I'm not a perfect mom in the eyes of the world, I'm the perfect mom in the eyes of those beautiful kids that I have. And I'm the perfect mom in the eyes of God. Was why He chose me to, be the channel through which they come into this world. Even though I wasn't a perfect wife in the eyes of my ex, his friends and families, just because I brought my my marriage to social media, just because I broke free from the norm of keeping mute and dying in silence, I became a bad wife. Because I cried out about domestic violence and how I was going to be killed if I don't leave that marriage. I was no longer a perfect wife. They ignored the 10 years of pain, tears, and hard work I put into that marriage while trying to make it work. Some of you here know that it took me 6 years and 24 miscarriages to have kids. In that 6 years, I was going through abuse, but they kept telling me to go, hold on. It's because you don't have kids, that's why he keeps hitting you. He will stop. And even after I had kids, the abuse still continued. He would beat me, even strangle me in front of my kids. And then at some point, I just had to leave. I just had to leave because I knew I would die in that marriage, and what people are saying will still be what they would have said. And all of a sudden, I am a bad wife. But even though I was not a perfect wife in their eyes, I will be a perfect maiden when I stand before the perfect bridegroom on the last day. Even though I wasn't a perfect friend to my friends, most of them don't love me anymore. Most of them don't associate with me anymore. They avoid me like I'm a plague. They don't want their husbands or their friends or their sisters to know that, they associate with me. I make posts on Facebook, for instance, and then they don't like it there, but they come to my inbox to say, oh, wow, you're doing a good job. But they don't want, people that are following them or people that they are following or people that have, their Facebook accounts to know that they actually liked my video, my picture, or whatever write-up that I made. Even my business partners don't want to do business with me anymore because I want untrustworthy, unreliable, divorcee, runaway bride. All because I did not follow my marriage or handle the situation the way they wanted me to handle it. Get yourself a man. As he's cheating now, cheat too. Make yourself happy one way or the other. Find somebody, be happy, be you. If he comes back, if he goes out in the morning, you go out too. If he come back, you face this side of the bed, he face this side of the bed. Everybody, everything a package, Marriage is not a bed of roses, so make yourself happy as he's making himself happy. Enjoy your life. But do those things give happiness? For how long? For how long? How many men will you sleep with? You married that man because you loved him. So every other thing you're getting out there is nothing. There's a difference between sex and love making. Am I speaking the truth? There's a difference between sex and making sweet, sumptuous love. So because I did not follow their advices, because I did not keep mute and remain in the marriage and be faking it, I became a bad friend. Because I did not handle my issues the way they advised me to. but rather handled it my own way, I became a bad friend without stopping to put themselves in my shoes. I was no longer a perfect friend to them. But I have a perfect friend in Christ, and he loved me perfectly, more than I can ever love myself. The truth is, the world doesn't really know me underneath these clothes. Meaning, they don't know who I really am, except, what they have heard about me. Yet they have judged me, despised me, spat at me literally, stopped doing business with me like I mentioned earlier, stopped associating with me, talked down on me, even people I was feeding, insulting me. Women that I've empowered, women that have given money. One of my former representatives, sales representative, the 23-year-old had the guts to say, if I see you anywhere around me, I will beat you up. You will beat who? You will beat who? As well, my intention for this video is not to go all mushy on you guys. People I gave clothes, people that will call me and say, Sandra, find me money. I don't know what's going on with my business. Women I even empowered, gave 300k, 200k, 50k, 20k, as the case may be, behind the scene. You see them talking down on me, insulting me because I don't have money to give them anymore. Some people taking me to shrine. They've taken me to shrine that I ate their money and all those. All for what? All because I took back the power I have given the world. For years, I gave the world power to control my life. Literally, I lived for everybody else except myself. So for taking back the power I gave the world, for living my life for me, being happy for the first time, I become a bad person. The moment I frown, for instance, in the past, and somebody now asks me, what is the problem? Sandra, why is your face like this? And then, for some reason, you now mistakenly share your issues with her. And she's like, but I know your husband now. Okay, if I get to... Then she gets home and then she tells her husband, normal wife just gisting with husband. And the husband, out of concern, reaches out to my ex to now advise him. The next thing, now my body, he will beat me like I stole. So because of that, auntie, anywhere you see Sandra, hey, life of the party, as she's entering the club, hey, everybody's here. I'm smiling even in that pain and penury. Because if I talk, no problem. So even I can't even afford to cry. Am I mad? Cry. How? Sandra has to always be happy. Your marriage is perfect, so be happy. I had to always tell my parents, hey, I'm fine. Oh, marriage is great. Because I don't want them to, call family meeting on my head. I had to stop taking alcohol, going out, I had to stop everything. Because I had to keep myself clean. I had to keep myself clean. My womb has to be intact. Alcohol will make you have miscarriages. this one, that one. Even don't stress yourself. Stop business. Always wanting to please the next person. There are rules and regulations to follow. All because my womb has to be, very, very prepared so that I can be able to conceive. Because of course, in the eyes of the world, the fault was all mine. The fault is always that of the woman. You can't have a child in marriage. All the fault goes to the woman. So I had to stop all those social lights and social and this and that and that. All because I couldn't tell the world that the actual cause of the miscarriages, most of the times, if I mistakenly, talk careless, anyhow, mistakenly, like maybe I'm angry or mood swing that pregnancy brings, and I mistakenly tell him, I beg, go and keep the cup or go and do this or that. Hello. He will say, since you got pregnant, you are not talking to me anyhow. You don't have respect for me anymore. And he will literally punch my tummy till I bleed. I will beat out that pregnancy is what he will say. I will beat out that pregnancy and it will come out. It's like this pregnancy is fooling your head. No jokes. I live for other people all my life. So now that I've now decided to live for myself and take back the power I gave the world, like I was trying to explain, I became a bad person. I'm not there yet psychologically, so don't think I'm advising you or because my world is now perfect. If you watch all through this video, I've been diverting from the main issues that I came to say, because the wounds are, and then I'm going deep into my past. That's because the wounds are still fresh. I'm not there yet. But right now, I'm living for me. Everything you see me do, my posts, every single thing, the clothes I wear, how I carry myself, it is because it is what I wanted to do. Because I chose to do it. No longer because I want to please other people or make them accept or love me, but because it pleases me, I'm doing them. As long as it makes me happy, I'm good. As long as it pleases God, oh, bad moi. I'm very okay. I'm living my life for me. Nobody else. I come first. You should try and do that for yourself too. Come first. Put yourself first. Love yourself first. You can't even love somebody else when you've not loved yourself. If you love yourself enough, you will see that there are some things you can't even tolerate anymore. There are some things, some vibes you can't even take anymore. The reason why all the things my friend did, my friends did to me, as much as I'm no longer a perfect friend to them, I'm not bothered, I'm not shaken. Because I have a friend. I have a perfect friend in Christ. I have a perfect friend in Christ. And he is one friend that will never judge you. He will never judge you. And this, my friend I'm talking about, the best thing about him being my friend is that he has the whole world in his hands. The whole world, everything, everybody that's done things to me, everything that's happened to me, he has the whole world in his hands. The world we're trying to please is under his control. As much as they hate me, he loves me. God loves me. He says I will soar like an eagle, flying high above my circumstances. He said I would not lack because he has provided all that I need according to his riches in glory. This, my friend, has always put food on my table. He has assured me that I and my girls, my 2 kids, will not go hungry. because he has always provided a table in the presence of my enemy. He said, I will not die, even when I attempted suicide, because with long life shall he satisfy me. Has he satisfied me? The best part of it all is that he has promised to restore those years that the cankerworm and locust and caterpillar has eaten. Everything that I lost is coming back. And when that happens, I will eat plenty and be satisfied.